Background of SOWJRA. Somali Women Journalism's Rights Association, SOWJRA, is a Somali local non-governmental, non-political, non-ethnic, non-religiously affiliated, and non-profit-making organization focusing on women journalists' rights and empowerment through education and development activities. The philosophy of the organization is to influence women journalists and advocate policies that address women's barriers in the mass media in the target operational areas and women emancipation on political and socio-economic front. SOWJRA was established on 9 January 2017 by a group of women journalists and a determined women intellectuals/journalists working in the local media. SOWJRA is an active local organization which is having collaborations with the line ministries of information, women, sports, and youth. SOWJRA is composed more intellectual ladies having journalism professional across the country. 2. Vision. SOWJRA vision statement points towards a sustainable women journalists capable of raising the gender issue in a manner of empowering on both the local media and that of the world in general. 3. Objectives. The main aim of founding the organization is that the members contribute their knowledge, coupled with the efforts of the international community on promoting the skills and the participation of the Somali women media and TV in the development of the local media. Its purpose also include rights and association policies that address the women's barriers in the mass media and pay a particular attention to ameliorate the awareness and training on job-related violations, as well as forums on gender balance in the workplace. Mission. SOWJRA mission statement indicates that our vision would be achieved through capacity building and education women journalists through mass media, educating newswomen on other methods of mass media to express themselves and their messages despite the prevailing political and financial obstacles through the entire country, e.g., newsletters, drama, films and videos and association, etc. Providing information and guidance to women reporters and the Somali women in general who are working to combat womanly oppression. Publication of women newsletter which provides a forum for groups that is active in the women's movement. Liberate women from their place of subordination to men, an ancient traditional phenomenon that exists in our community and which is a barrier to the progress of the women in every aspect. Documentation of all types of violations against not only women journalists, but other vulnerable women, girls, and children in the community in Somalia. Finding appropriate means of research, action, and communication, which will take into account the complex situations of oppressions that characterize the Somali women journalists in the country. Advocating and lobbying the rights of Somali women journalists and other vulnerable and at-risk women, girls, and children in the community to better live in dignity and freedom in their country. The core value: transparency and accountability. Collaboration with the target community as well as donors. Working in flexibility manner. Commitment, respect the rights of the others. Decision-making and information sharing. SOWJRA area of work. We work in the following areas but not are limited to: capacity building, vocational training and income generation, community awareness raising campaigns, educating and empowerment of women's journalists, media development, peace building, conflict resolution, documentation of human rights violations against women and children, advocacy and lobbying. 7. Geographical coverage. The headquarters of SOWJRA is in Mogadishu City, capital of Somalia, and has operating bases in other regions of central and southern Somalia. SOWJRA programs. Education. In Somalia, illiteracy levels are high and primary school enrollment is estimated to be 30.6%. Many children in the urban and rural areas have no access to any form of education. Somali Women Journalist Rights Association, SOWJRA, works towards education the community, particularly women and young girls. SOWJRA provides both formal and informal education to young girls and women in south-central zones of Somalia. The main aim of this program is to fight with ignorance and work towards the empowerment of women and young girls through education. In Mogadishu and most other regions in the country, there are no vocational centers to support skill training for youths to stand on their own feet and earn their livelihoods. Therefore, there is a need of rehabilitating the vocational centers and start skill training programs. In this respect, SOWJRA is planning to open up Vocational Skills Training Center for women and young girls to produce not only women journalists, but also women with skills and knowledge that can empower and advocate for their rights and for the rights of others in Somali. Documentation Center. Meant to address the women rights education from different perspectives, SOWJRA established a documentation center that performs several activities, such as the documentation of human rights abuse afflicted to women journalists, children, and affected relatives. The Center for Rapid Response Interventions interims on counseling, medical referrals, medications, and limited financial supports to the victim for education and medical treatment. It also undertakes VAW campaigns intended to sensitize the public on the existence of human rights abuse and makes advocacy on violations against women journalists and young girls. Advocacy and lobbying. Somali Women Journalist Rights Association, SOWJRA, stands for making advocacy and lobbying for the betterment of Somali women journalists in Somalia. The association works towards addressing media relation problems faced by women journalists in the media. It has close relationship with other media organizations, national and international media houses to increase its advocacy strategies and hence empowering women journalists in Somali peace-building program. Somalia has been in civil war for almost a decade. There is still instability in most parts of the country, particularly in the southern regions. SOWJRA plans to undertake peace-building, reconciliation, and demobilization programs through local media, radios, and magazines, conducting workshops and seminars, drama, peace rallies, sports tournaments, and trainings. This is aimed to integrate peace awareness in SOWJRA activities in order to influence the general public to contribute the effort towards sustainable peace in Somali. Capacity building programs. SOWJRA extends capacity building programs to different sectors, including young women journalists who are willing to build up their career as journalists of tomorrow. We also provide seminars, workshops, and trainings to the wider community to build their understanding and capacity so that they will be able to work with us and participate in all of our programmers. Community development programs. SOWJRA helps the community to identify and realize their full potentials and collaborate with the local community to create networks and links for development. Community participation and involvement is at the heart of all our activities or projects. We believe in empowerment and society capable of driving their own development. Participatory development is our goal and aspiration at SOWJRA. Visit our site by searching www.sowjra.org.